Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're reviewing Rings of Power. I know I promised you guys a do and review next, but this show is so unbearably bad and we had so much to say about it, we just had to do this one first. I would rather watch paint dry than sit through another episode of this show. Normally we say, spoiler warning, watch the show or movie before you check out this review, but this show is so bad, I suggest you don't watch it before you watch this review.
You can tell just from the beginning that this show is heavily influenced by producers more than writers. Producers don't write, they sell. They look at stories in terms of selling points, not plot, characters. Look, there's elves in it. You like elves, don't you?
You see, it's got raisins in it. You like raisins.
There's dwarves and orcs and, you know, all this familiar stuff. Durin, remember Durin?
The last light of Durin's day will shine upon the keyhole.
Yeah, that guy. He's in there too. And it's just a bunch of disparate elements and the rest is just this kind of overproduced goo.
Gelatinous blob sliding across your TV screen.
Exactly. It just kind of hits you.
The dialogue. My God, the dialogue. These actors sound like they're reading fortune cookies. We got some fortune cookies, so we're gonna crack these open and see if we can come up with Lord of the Rings of Power dialogue.
Yeah.
For the same wind that seeks to blow out a fire may also cause its spread.
Advice, when most needed, is least heeded.
It is said the wine of victory is sweetest for those in whose bitter trials it is fermented.
A lifestyle is what you pay for. A life is what pays you.
The dog may bark at the moon, but he cannot bring it down.
Be curious always, for knowledge will not acquire you. You must acquire it.
But ambition knows no obstacles. See, we did a whole scene right there. That could have been a whole scene.
There can be no trust between hammer and rock. Eventually one or the other must surely break.
A mile walked with a friend contains only 100 steps.
Where there is love, it is never truly dark.
You know, everything is not an anecdote. You have to discriminate. You choose things that are funny or mildly amusing or interesting. You're a miracle. Your stories have none of that.
Do you know why a ship floats and a stone cannot?
It's a surface to mass ratio. Everybody freaking knows that. And the show insults your intelligence.
But the ship has a secret. For unlike the stone, her gaze is not downward but up, fixed upon the light that guides her.
Doesn't have eyes. How can a ship be looking at the sky?
If it had a face, it would be looking straight ahead.
Whatsoever.
The sea is always right.
The sea is always right.
Iceberg, right ahead.
It's got a head.
$1,500 people went into the sea when Titanic sank from under us.
And the sea is always right.
Shut up!
I'm canceling my Amazon subscription.
Oh yeah, the end of the series.
Morgoth found the Silmarils so beautiful that after he'd stolen them, for weeks he could do nothing but stare into their depths.
And by the way, you know, when you're telling these little stories, here's a good idea. Have a point. It makes it so much more interesting for the listener.
An age ago, our kind brought war to these shores. I want to fill them with beauty, to grow beyond petty works of jewel craft and devise something of real power.
A tower, more powerful than any ever built.
The things we could use it to create could transform Middle-earth.
What seems to be the difficulty? I need it completed by spring.
I mean, do the elves really have an urgent need to build this big tower that they want to build and create new shiny things with it? No, they don't.
Nothing bad will happen to them if they don't build this tower. There's no antagonist in this show. There's no stakes in this show. It's so incredibly slow and boring. And Elrond and his companion have no supplies or means of transportation. They travel to the dwarves by the magical power of the dotted line. And then Elrond says, oh, okay, I'm gonna go inside and talk to the dwarves. You stay out here for a few days with no food, transportation, or supplies. See ya!
The stakes are basically Elrond and Durin's friendship. We have these two guys that we don't really know that much about. At one point, they have an actual honest-to-God elevator scene, straight out of what do you say?
Oh yeah, this
Grey's
totally
Anatomy.
reminded me of Grey's Anatomy. There's times in Grey's Anatomy when the characters need to talk, but they have an awkward moment and they're mad at each other. So they always use this moment in the show where the two characters are in the elevator together because they have to get for the same floor, and this is the moment where they have their conversation.
You're trapped. And you don't have to talk. I'll do the talking.
You missed my wedding. The birth of my children, two of them.
You don't know who I am inside! You never have! What a whiner that kid is.
You cannot barge into my mountain and demand I welcome you with open arms.
Ah! What a whiny little bitch! What a fucking bitch! Just a whiny little bitch!
So what do you have to say to that?
Why don't you be a man and grow a cunt?
There is no antagonist. There's absolutely no antagonist in this show.
A cruel and cunning sorcerer. They called him Sauron.
I have arrived.
More and more of our kind began to believe that Sauron was but a memory.
I'm out of here.
Sauron is not presented as a threat.
He was here. Sauron was here.
The mark is centuries old. Whoever left it could be long dead.
Seeing a sigil does not mean you're any closer to finding Sauron. It is over. The evil is gone.
Everyone knows Sauron's coming back because everyone's watched the Jackson films, and millions of people have watched the films and read the books, and so obviously we all know Sauron's coming back. And so these Rings of Power writers are the laziest writers on Earth. They don't have to take the time to establish any antagonist in this show because the writers in the movies did all the work for them.
Oh, yeah.
So we have 3 hours, 3 episodes, 1, 2, and 3, with absolutely no antagonist because these characters are not in danger. They're not relatable. There's no stakes. The audience can't relate to them. I mean, we watched 3 hours of this show and I can't remember a single character's name. There's one scene where the herbalist woman, I can't remember her name, I don't care, has an orc break into her home and
healer.
the healer, her, whatever. Her and her son are in danger from one orc, and before that, she knows this is coming because her and the elf that she's supposedly in love with, but I don't remember his name or care about him either, they find a neighboring town with a big hole, and there's a gigantic hole that runs through the whole town, like a tunnel that came up, and every person who used to live in this town is dead. But we don't get to see any of the danger. We don't get to see any of these people die. We don't get to see the orcs attack. I mean, after all, this show only had a budget of $1 billion, so we couldn't possibly get to see this scene.
They say that a great sorceress lives in these woods. An elf witch.
Frodo, you're coming to us. Is as the footsteps of doom.
She's a magic user, a sorceress. It involves opening yourself up to nature and opening yourself up intuitively to the people around you so that you can read their thoughts, have telepathy with your thoughts and their thoughts.
Welcome, Frodo of the Shire. What do I see in the eye? I know what it is you saw. For it is also in my mind.
It's the exact opposite of this character that we're given.
My brother vowed to seek him out and destroy him. But Sauron found him first. His vow became mine.
Forget about reading people. This character can't even sense or even bother to notice the most basic needs or wants of people around her.
Commander! Wait, no! We keep moving! Galadriel! Stop!
It's just this one note. I want
revenge.
I want revenge. I want to kill some orcs, basically.
Do you truly believe seeking him out will satisfy you? That one more orc upon the point of your blade will bring you peace? If you are wrong...
I'm not
If
wrong.
you are wrong, will you lead more elves to die in far-off lands?
There is no way in the world this character could grow into the Galadriel we know and love from the books.
Oh, she's not going to. You can tell by the way it's written. If these characteristics were depicted as like negative things that she has to overcome, then she'd have the arc over the series of changing from this, this embittered,
bitch.
Yeah, I was gonna say warrior, but yeah, very much.
Galadriel of the Noldor, daughter of the Golden House of Finarfin, commander of the northern armies of High King Gil-galad.
Bitch of all bitches.
Who is this mortal who speaks to me as if he has the slightest idea who I am?
The writers thought that they were doing a great job depicting a strong, empowered woman. Based upon the audience's reaction to this character, these writers are clueless. This character is awful.
I am hated by all who see me. I am not some courtier to be placated by idle flattery.
You need to just get me the correct order now.
I demand to speak with the king directly.
Excuse me, can I get a manager? Can I please get a manager?
This audience is ended. Then I have little choice but to ask for another. One with Numenor's true ruler. Your father, the king.
I want to talk to the manager.
And you should stand aside, that I might present my proposal to one who holds the authority to answer it.
The manager?
Yes.
I'm the manager.
Well, I want to speak to your supervisor.
Supervisor?
Yes.
Yeah, let me go get him. Hey, how you doing? I'm the supervisor too.
There is a tempest in me. It swept me to this island for a reason. And it will not be quelled by you, Regent.
Jesus. What, is your latte too hot or something? I mean, what the... No, I'm sorry, but, it's not all about you.
I think Middle-earth needs an anti-Karen law.
There is a tempest in me.
What, are you leaking too much water? Do you have a urinary tract infection? Maybe she needs some Uristat, or cranberry pills, or antibiotics.
There is a tempest in me.
Is this a menstrual problem thing? Maybe she needs some Midol, or extra thick tampons, or pads.
There is a tempest in me.
Is this a diarrhea problem? Maybe she needs some Imodium, or Acetylene. Acetylene gets rid of dirt and grime and shit in just a minute. Acetylene has ultra power because there's A and E right in it. Acetylene, Acetylene.
The other storylines include one with a human healer and an elf of darker complexion, a black elf.
Actually, he's Puerto Rican.
It's Puerto Rican, okay. Puerto Rican elf, Latin elf. I don't know. There's no Puerto Rico in Middle Earth. There's no Africa or America in Middle Earth, so you can't say African American. Dark elf. I say dark elf. They were cool in D&D.
Why do we all speak in British accents when we're from outer space and there is no Britain?
These are forgettable generic characters having a forgettable generic romance. She gets some special seeds for him.
Halfring seeds.
I've not seen this flower since I was a child.
Somebody comes outside and interrupts their moment and they split apart. When I was first watching it, I thought, are these seeds illegal? Is this like a drug deal and they're splitting apart because, oh my god, you can't sell drugs in this part of Middle Earth? Oh no, they're in love. This was just, there is no chemistry between these actors. They're not given anything to work with here. The script is weak. It does not show any romantic feelings between them. The actors aren't given anything to work with, and then they don't do anything in post-production. Like, at least the scene in The Hobbit with Teriel and the dwarf, they had that music playing.
I saw a fire moon once. It rose over the pass near Dunland. Huge. Red and gold it was, it filled the sky. We were an escort for some merchants in Merid Lewin. They were trading in silver work for furs. We took the Greenway south, keeping the mountain to our left.
as they were talking and bonding.
Yeah.
So you knew they were falling in love. This show does nothing from script writing to post-production to help the audience know that these characters feel anything for each other.
You crush the petals to form a flower.
You crush them.
Gently.
Let's not forget about the iconic framing of Arwen and Aragon in the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
The beautiful bridge that
Yeah.
they're standing on.
With that kind of scenery and that kind of music, you obviously know that these two are in love, and this is just this epic romance.
Mm-hmm. Like close-ups on their faces and the soft focus and the lighting and the scene with them standing on the bridge. I actually painted that and sold it to a customer as fan art because it was such a beautiful shot. In this,
and that's what establishes their relationship. This we have sitting by a well, kind of. Yeah.
This, and the way it was shot, there was nothing to depict romance. I mean, I thought maybe the girl from The Ring was going to crawl out from my neck. Kill all of them and end this horrible show. Just kill them all right now. Don't wait 7 days. Kill them now.
You know, the Harfoots were kind of clever. I mean, they seem nice, but they're really a bunch of little jerks when you think about it. One of them busts their ankle and they're just gonna leave them behind.
Yeah, they're nomadic people. So every now and then the caravan has to move along if they think that another species or race might discover them. They don't like that. They're hidden. They hide in the grasslands. So one of them busts their foot. He can't carry his wagon.
Come on, Poppy, you fall behind.
Just give me a moment to get my breath under me.
They have this whole scene before every move where they sit around and they read the names of all the people they've lost along the way.
Miles Brightapple, stuck in the snows of the mountain pass.
We wait for you.
Lovo Baljabook.
We wait for you.
You see them moving along. Anybody who can't keep up is just left behind. They had all these extras walking along. Any one of these people could have helped the injured family. If you have all these people walking along who aren't pushing anything, aren't pulling anything, aren't carrying anything, why don't you have all these people help the injured? Is there some law in Harfoot society that you can only help your immediate family move their cart?
And no wonder you're extinct.
Like, what the hell am I looking at? What is that? What is that on the screen right now? This freaking shot of the two guys walking across this wide open plain with these giant moose antlers strapped to their backs that are later identified as hunters. Hunters with giant freaking moose antlers. Are they gonna be like camouflaged somehow with these moose antlers? Will they be stalking through the underbrush, creeping up on prey? How's the prey not gonna see them with the giant freaking moose antlers?
Maybe they killed. Maybe this is the capture the prey. They killed these animals, but they don't want the meat to eat or the hides to make.
Yeah, just the antlers.
Just the antlers.
That's it.
That's what they carry away from their hunt. Just the antlers.
Yeah.
Why? There's no way any kind of hunter would put this on their back. I mean, you can imagine Katniss Everdeen trying to hunt illegally in the forest outside of District 12 with giant fucking moose antlers on her. Studio executives think all you need is name recognition, slap a familiar name on it, and they think it does not matter what they do with the characters or story or plot. Just like Ghostbusters 2016, this is another example of slapping a name on something and not caring at all about the source material or original film or book. The Dune review is coming, I promise. Thank you for watching. Subscribe.